Hey guys, what's going on? It's Done Dinner here, creating this new video on my predictions for day 4. Now, day 3 went pretty well. I'll actually go to the page here. So I did predict the Fnatic game. I did not predict the Godson game. I did say that it was actually going to be like a 50-50 game, but of course, Envious did smash Godson. I was not expecting that. I predicted North. I predicted VP. I did not predict the Astralis game. I again thought it was going to be close. Astralis did dominate G2 again on train. So I did predict the Navi game, and I did predict the phase and the Optic. So I went 6 for 8 yesterday, so it was not too bad. So I overall am doing very well during the tournament predicting. So hopefully I can do well tomorrow. So we start off with this first game of the day. It's North versus G2. I think this one's going to be a fairly close one. G2 did come off that loss of today. I do think their spirits are still going to be high. I do think Shox is going to be able to perform very well. So I do actually give them the edge 60-40 in this one. I do think that North is going to get sent home, especially after their showing today going in overtime against Hellraisers. They showed a shaky performance. I thought it was going to be very one-sided North, but they did not show up. And that seems to be fairly consistent throughout the tournament. They just keep not showing up, and I don't think they're going to show up in this one. I think G2 will be able to take this fairly easy and go 2-2. So next game of the day is Envious versus Fnatic. This is going to be a fairly close game. I do put the edge in Fnatic's way. I do think that they can actually edge off Envious and actually make it out of groups. A lot of like the casters and stuff say that Fnatic's not going to make it out of groups, but I actually think they're going to win this game. For that reason, I do have $10 on them already, and their odds are amazing right now. It's like 33% odds, so it's honestly amazing. In my eyes, it's a 50-50 game. It's a fairly coin flip game. It's really whoever shows up. You know, if Olaf can lurk like he did today, I do think Fnatic can win this game, but I think it'll be a close one. I don't think it's going to be a smash. I don't think Envious will be able to smash Fnatic like they did today. So I do give the edge slightly to Fnatic, like just barely. But it is a fairly coin flip game. This is a very high risk game. So the next game we do have Mousesports versus Liquid. Both teams not showing really what they want at this major. I did not expect Liquid to do well at this major just because they did lose Simple, and now they don't really have an amazing team. Like, you know, they have superstars like Hiko, like Eleague, but I don't think that they're ready to make it out of groups. I actually do give the edge to Mouse in this one. I do think that they can perform better than they did against Fnatic today. They are playing against a bit of a less class opponent than Fnatic. So I do think the Mouse will have an edge. I give it a 60-40 in Mouse's favor. And for that reason, I will be putting probably $15 on Mouse. The next game we do have is Godson versus Optic. Both teams not having a good major so far. You know, Godson did win their first game against Astralis and did actually show a very good performance. But surprisingly, they've lost both games since. And for both the games after they beat Astralis, I predicted that Godson would win, but they lost both. This one's a very close game. Optic going 0-2 at the starting, having a very shaky major. But honestly, having bad luck. They just had a bad luck in the draw. You know, they played VP. They played, I can't remember who else they played, but they did play 2 very good teams. And then they did show up today. They actually did win their game, which was kind of expected, but still they did show up and they did win. So I'm actually going to give the edge to Optic in this one. I'm going to give them a 60-40 edge over Godson. It is a high risk game. This one is going to be high risk. I just give the edge to to Optic because they have actually had a better tournament. They showed a lot more life than Godson has. Godson had a very rough time since they beat Astralis, so I do give the edge to Godson. The next game of the day, we do have SK versus Astralis. SK, a bad showing today against Navi. I did predict Navi was going to win that game just because SK, you know, they still have that stand-in Fox, so they're not playing with that, you know, very all-star lineup, their major lineup. So they are playing with that other lineup, but still, I do think they can beat Astralis. I think it's going to go in SK's way. Not too convincingly. I don't think it's going to be that convincing. I'm thinking it's going to be like 16-10, something like that. I'm thinking probably the odds are going to be at 60-40 for SK. I do think SK can win it, especially, you know, if Cold Zera, Fallen go off. If both those players are performing, they can't really lose against Astralis. But for the same thing with Astralis, you know, if Device and Dupree are performing, They can maybe even edge out SK and perform an upset, but Astralis, that even though they are 2-1, they have not shown that well at this major. So I do give the edge to SK in a 60-40. So for the last game of the day, I think at least these are to be determined. So I'm guessing the teams that go 2-2 play later in the day. That would be my best guess, and then there's going to be more games. So for, like, say if Envious does lose this game, I think Envious will play later in the day is my best guess. But I guess I can only predict to this for now. For Gambit versus FaZe, like I said yesterday, Gambit, I did not expect them to do as well as they did at this tournament so far. I cannot see them beating FaZe. I actually do see FaZe beating them, and FaZe going into the next group, going into quarterfinals. I mean, I cannot see Gambit winning this. Gambit have shown actually very well at this tournament. You know, Hobbit really popping off, really doing well. Dossier even having a great tournament. I cannot see them beating FaZe, though. FaZe just has such a better lineup. Like, if you're looking at head-to-heads, just a lot better of a lineup. Like, just players that have a lot of experience in the game. You have Kiyoshima, Alu, tons of experience from him. Kerrigan, tons of experience from even his TSM days. Rain and AZ, both experienced players. And then if you shift over to Gambit's side, the only real player that has experience is Dossier and Zeus. Those are the players that have the most experience on the team. Adrian has a bit of experience, but Hobbit and Moo are actually very new players. They're actually kind of the new all-stars. So they don't have as much experience at majors, at LANs. So I have to say that I do put it in FaZe's way just because they're raw talent and their experience at a major to, you know, keep cool if they are losing. They can keep cool and come back in the game. I have a feeling that the Gambit start losing and say they go down 6-0 or something like that. I don't know if they'll be able to bring it back and retain concentration to win the game. For this game, I would say it's about a 60-40 for FaZe. For that reason, I'm actually going to be going very high on this game, probably about $25 on FaZe. I am very confident in them to win this. Tomorrow, if I get a chance, if I do see the next games that are going to be on these games, I will post a prediction if I can. If I can't, then hopefully, hopefully it goes well. You know, it'll probably be like Gambit versus Astralis or something. And they'll be about like 50-50 games. But hopefully I'll be able to post something and get some more predictions out to you guys. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Again, like I say every video, comment down below if I did make a wrong prediction. And good luck betting. See you later.